Former Governor Marvin Mandel's legacy made a real impact on many Marylanders. He died on Sunday at the age of 95. And Arnold Weiner, Mandel's friend, lawyer, good friend, known him for years, joining us now here in the studio to discuss his legacy. Thank you so much for coming in.
Well, it's good to be here.
Sorry for his passing, sadness for all of us.
He lived a great life.
He lived a long life.
Great life.
And he did so much.
Yeah.
The streamlining government, though. Tell me about that.
That was the #1 accomplishment, and only he probably could have done it. When Marvin Mandel became governor, there were 100 separate departments that were part of state government. Each department acted on its own, independently. The governor had to deal with each one separately. It was impossible to get anything done. And only he, who had this wonderful relationship with the legislature, could get through a complete reorganization of the state government to create a cabinet system like we have at the federal level and to make state government at last effective.
And you would think of, a Democrat streamlining government. That's not something that you would think of in this day and age.
Well, he went beyond party. I mean, this was a Democratic state. He really mastered the Democratic Party, but when it came to the things that he wanted government to do, he didn't care if they were progressive, if they were conservative. As far as he was concerned, he wanted to do them if they were right.
And you weren't just his attorney, you guys were good friends. What are some of the things that you will remember him most for?
Well, he's the guy that taught me how to shoot skeet off the back of a boat. I missed a lot, but he didn't. He was really good. But one of the things that I remember most about him was that soon after he became governor, he made me the chairman of his advisory board for the Department of Correction and Parole. And it was right at the time that the Attica uprising took place in New York. And shortly after Attica, we had the same thing at our penitentiary here in downtown Baltimore. I was sitting in my office. He called me up. He said, "You've got to get down to the penitentiary. There's an uprising." We got to the penitentiary, and the inmates were calling for the governor to come in. They wanted to talk to the governor. And he didn't hesitate a second. He realized that that was the one way to keep Maryland from becoming another Attica. And with unbelievable bravery, he just went right into the penitentiary, met with the prisoners, worked out a solution, and the whole thing quieted down. Now, just before he went in, he asked me if I'd like to go in with him. And I said, "Governor, somebody's got to stay outside, and that's going to be me."
So a man before his time.
Yes, yes.
Now, do you feel that some of the scandal and controversy that followed in later years overshadowed some of the good that he did for our state?
Yeah, I think it was really unfortunate that he became really a victim of what was a great overhaul in how people looked at government. And as you know, he was prosecuted for something that was never even a crime. And it was a saga that unfortunately took years. He was tried once, then he was tried a second time. Then we appealed. A 3-judge panel of the appeals court reversed his conviction. Then a 10-member panel of the appeals court split 5-5. 2 new judges got appointed. Then they split 6-6. And on a tie vote, he ended up getting convicted of what the Supreme Court later declared wasn't a crime at all. So it was a real tragedy. But the wonderful thing about Marvin Mandel was that he endured through it all. He got through it all, and in the later decades of his life, he became deservedly a great elder statesman.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing some of your great memories with us, and we will remember him as well.
That's great to see you.
All right, thanks a lot.